Chapter 8, Repair, Replacement, Disposition of Railroad Equipment. Overview. The maintenance of the railroad equipment involves three types of repair: overhauling, rebuilding, remanufacturing. Maintenance expenditure limits. The major expenditure limits, MEL, is total allowable one-time cost to restore any of the item, subsystem, component fully serviceable condition prescribed with the appropriate technical manual, Department of Defense Depot maintenance work requirements. Criteria is used to be for the computing the maintenance expenditure limit that is described in the AR 751. The maintenance expenditure limit is used to determine the economical feasibility of overhauling at any of the item given the current age and expected life. The maintenance expenditure limit is published in the Technical Bulletin 430002-35. Technical inspections. Experienced technical qualified railway technicians will inspect the railway equipment for at least once annually. Unserviceable equipment will be inspected qualified rail technician above the repair before being sent to the next support maintenance for facility repair. With the disposal inspection report will include defects, malfunction, components of the estimated cost of restoring the equipment to standard operating condition. The objective of the technical inspection are ensure the equipment meets the Army safety maintenance standards, determine the economical repairability of the Department of Defense material field, supplement sustained levels of maintain maintenance, prevent evacuation of uneconomical repairable equipment unless specifically required and directed, preclude equipment loss at the Department of Defense based solely on the age. Estimating repair costs. Preparing the detailed cost of the estimates. The equipment manager will view the previous work order to determine whether similar items in similar condition have repaired and work orders exist. Actual work orders estimating the basis on prescribed operation maintenance inflation factors for each. Either estimating repair components will accelerate older work order costs. One cost elements if no previous work order with a similar repair available, the estimated repairs cost will compute using the following cost elements: direct labor, military, civilian, direct materials, indirect overhead costs, contractual service, shipping costs. The costs are described in the individuals below. The direct labor cost. Direct labor is the work between civilian and military personnel specifically related to the repair or overhaul. Include only personnel who have direct or productive contact with equipment service involved in the initial and final inspections are included with the category. Estimated direct labor cost. Determine the number of applicable direct labor hours. The applying current with the pay rates for the cost of the annual sick or other leave, as well as the government contribution and employee benefits. Determine the direct labor to apply with the base of the work hour requirements. Maintenance task listed as the applicable publication search of such commercial flat rate manual similar work for previously performed individual experience. Based on estimated civilian labor costs for labor rate with the individuals who actually perform the work, perform the service when the civil labor pay scales are stated in terms of the annual salaries. Compute the cost and converted the work years to average productive work hours, either including the cost of annual sick or other leave, government contributed fringes benefits of the labor rates. D. Base estimated cost military labor average military wage range for the individual performing the work, assuming the standard costs. Heads of the Department of Defense component of design may establish using standard hourly rates direct labor, including the indirect overhead costs, separate rates with established field and sustainment deployment depot maintenance for each of the categories supportable equipment listed for the rail. Each of the major geographical areas which wage levels vary greatly. Direct material costs. Direct material costs are all materials repairing and overhauling practical pieces of the equipment, including government finished material using the private contractor service. Figure the cost of consumable standard inventory price published in appropriate supply manuals. Material obtained with local sources will be priced at latest invoice cost. The cost of material will actually cost the fabrication, when actual costs are not available, the use of commercial, governmental, rail shop estimates. When credit is given with the serviceable return, it will be when actual costs are not available, the use when credit is not given, the service of return with the full print minus the applicable subcharge, small risk mitigation. When the credit is given with the unserviceable return, it will be the full price of the minimum applicable surcharge, washout repair cost, risk mitigation factor. The Transportation Agency Command will establish a risk mitigation factor value provided by the Army Military Management Command. No additional factors will be included with the credit given in the item. Indirect overhead costs include the indirect overhead costs associated with the process repair with the overall cost estimate to determine the cost. Apply the indirect overhead costs to the estimated direct labor hours, including the file costs that are used by the developed indirect overhead rates. A. Performing the production expense such as indirect costs incurred with the maintenance shop organization performing the repair work, although not identifiable particular repair or overhaul job. B. General administrative expenses such as costs inquired with the general management of the supervision, which are measurable costs and chargeable maintenance units activities. C. The contractual services include the estimate contractual service for costs related to the performance of all the part and all part maintenance job. D. Shipping costs include all the costs involving the preparing the material, shipment, and transportation handling from the point for the use for the point of the repair. E. Exclude costs do not include the following elements in depot repair overhaul unit cost estimate. 1. Replacement of non-integral components of basic items issued items operating with expense such as requirements battery, antifreeze, petroleum products, except whether replacement is required to result accident, injury. The labor cost of application modification work order, except for the amount of labor, is small to cause no major material distortion, but either modification of depot maintenance costs. 4. The cost of overhauling and replacing accessory items using the adapted equipment for the special use, adjusting repair cost work estimates. And F. 5. Estimating reporting when the unserviceable equipment is reported with the commodity manager based on the repair cost estimates. The commodity manager will compare the low labor rate by the field personnel with the labor rate for the depot maintenance facility selected with the completed maintenance. The repair cost estimate will be adjusted to reflect the depot maintenance labor rate decision made with the disposition of equipment. When the equipment is reported with the commodity manager based on the work hour estimates, and commodity manager will convert the direct labor hours to other information related to maintenance effort. The repair overhaul cost estimate dollar amounts prescribed in the regulation. This will be done before the decision is made with the disposition of the equipment. Waivers. Head of the Department of Defense components of the Installation Management Command. These designs have authority with the approve the request and waivers are published in the maximum required overhaul allowances with required maintenance that can be accomplished at the organizational direct support general support level. Required repairs will not be broken down in separate job estimates. Merely bypass prescribed maintenance maximum repair allowances. In approving such requests, the commanders will ensure that the unit organization requesting the waiver will be unable to obtain the timely replacement of uneconomically replaced repairable equipment when checking the appropriate commodity repair manager. Urgent operational and essential training requirements justifying uneconomical repair resources are available or can be made available. The requesting organization commanded to do the required repairs with the acceptable period normal maximum time of 60 days. Unit Activity Command requesting the material waivers and will submit the copies of the technical installation report justification on economical repair through the proper support maintenance channel of the Department of Defense and Service Commandments and approval. Waivers are not national maintenance within the National Inventory Control Point, National Inventory Control Point, NCIPs, according with the proper national maintenance points, NMPs. May grant waiver that published maximum one-time repair overhaul allowances required maintenance will accomplish for the depot maintenance level with the other operational requirements and necessities such as 8.3 replacement criteria. To determine the transportation agency command whether the procurement piece for the equipment will be based on the unit price equivalent like equivalent currently being produced, identifying the trade journals market analysis rather than on federal logistic information system of the unit price. Remanufacturing criteria that determine the transportation cost of the manufactured rail equipment rather than overhaul is evaluated with the case-to-case justification of sustained with the approved product with the improvement program with considered price as well as technological improvements. 8.5 Disposition of equipment. All reports excessive of request for the Department of Disposition USAX and Department of DODX equipment is directed to the Transportation Agency Command. The Department of Defense Rail Focal Point of the Transportation Agency Command determines whether the service of the item is eligible to disposal transfer the excess if the Army with the Department of Defense the TACOM will provide with the disposition instruction requesting the Department of Defense instruction. Installation will submit the DA Form 3590 requested disposition waiver the Department of Defense Form 1348 DoD single line item requisition system document manual, either the Department of Defense 1335 field inspection data of the USAX, USNX, DODX. For railway cars, DA Form 2404 and equipment inspection maintenance worksheet for the equipment other than rail cars, Army Command. These installations will ensure that USAX, DODX repair reporting markings completely reviewed the equipment before it is transferred to the DRMS. Maintenance performance. Maintenance will incorporate the Technical Manual 55203 with other technical maintenance related to the specific of the equipment, items, equipment maintenance reporting regarding the Department of Defense components in accordance with the DA PAM 758. Organizational maintenance assigned with the utility rail equipment responsible for the use of the depot maintenance governance program of the Transportation Agency Command. And 8-7 rolling stock operating an interchange. Department of Defense components manage passenger freight equipment moving the interchange surface over the other commercial railroads subject to the same for the establishing Association of American Railroads for FRA to adopt the running repairs maintenance of the performed by the handling railroads under provision of the Association of Railroad interchange bills supporting the papers applicable to the equipment designed by the defensive defensive fleet of the railroad interchange fleet, rendering the railroads the material surface distribution, deployment, command for the payment. The association railroad equipment is repaired and interchanged with the applicable bills under the transportation agency command for the payment. Section A, secured required publications, AR 7130, Forest Development and Documentation Consolidated Policies, AR 420, Army Facility Management Commands. Section 2, related publications, Army are related publication source additional information user design. I have to read these to understand this regulation. Competitive Source Programming, AR 520, PAM 38540, Army Incidental Investigation Reporting, AR 40545, Real Property Inventory Management, AR 41528, Real Property Categories, AR 7103, Inventory Management Asset Transaction Reporting System, AR 751, Army Material Maintenance Material, PAM 758, Army Maintenance Management System or TAMS User Manual, AR FM 4/0141, Army Rail Operations Technical Bulletin 403-0002-35 Maintenance Expenditure List limits for the Federal Supply Code Group 22 FSC classes 2210, 2220, 2230 available at LOXA, Army Mill, and ETMS. Technical Manual 55203 Maintenance for Railway Cars, Technical Bulletin 6001 Procedure Selection Training, Testing Qualifying Operators, Equipment Safety System, excluding selected water aircraft managed support, use Army Transportation Aviation Material Readiness Command. TCI TC 5588-1 Railway Handbook for the Air Brake and Army Training Hand Rules. Technical Manual 56328 Railway Track Standards. Department of Defense 4140-50R Management Standards. Department of Defense Locomotive. Title 49 CFR 200 through 299 Federal Railroad Administration, the Department of Defense Transportation, AR Interchange Rules of Interchange Railroad Card available to the Association of American Railroads, 50 FS Street, North Washington, D.C. 20001 1564, GCOR General Code of Operation Rules, 5th Edition, Transcool U.S. Army Mill Rail Safety. Section 2F, Department of Defense Form 862, Daily Inspection Work for Diesel, Locomotive Cranes. Section 4 is Reference Forms, DA Form 2404, Equipment and Maintenance Worksheet, DAO Form 35090, Request Disposition Waiver 1140, Department of Defense Support Agreement, Department of Defense 1335, Field Inspection Data, USAX, USNX, DOX Rail Cars, Department of Defense 1348, the Department of Defense Single Line Requisition System Documentation Form, FRA 6180, 49A, Locomotive Inspection Repair, available at the Federal Railroad Administration, 1120 Vermont Ave, New York, North Washington, DC 20590, OF 346, U.S. Government Motor Vehicle Operation Identification Card, and B, equipment numbering.